In today's performance of Julia's journey to finding love, we'll meet the two characters, Julia and the narrator. I'll play the narrator, telling the story of Julia's voyage of discovery, through the heartbreak at having affairs, through the murky waters of unsuitable beaux, to finally meeting Mr. Right, and the challenges that that relationship presents. Julia tells her side of the story using monologues and songs. William Makepeace Thackeray said, "It is better to love wisely, no doubt, but to love foolishly is better than not to be able to love at all." My friend Julia found this out. She adored Leonard, but it transpired that Leonard was not the monogamous type. Leonard was a bit of a cad. He was seeing both Julia and Grace. His justification was that he and Julia both understood their relationship, that she was a woman with advanced views on marriage, viewing it as a degrading bargain where a woman simply sought to be a wife, a kept woman. Julia, however, had become rather more involved than was wise in this situation. She'd fallen for Leonard. In fact, she was obsessed with him. When she found out about Grace, she decided to confront her. She turned up on Grace's doorstep, only to discover that Leonard was there too. She implored him to end it with Grace. Leonard tried to squirm his way out of the increasingly awkward situation, reminding her that to accept that she was on notice to leave the relationship. Julia became more and more desperate. But why? We could be so happy. You love me. I know you love me. I feel it. You say, "my dear," to me. You've said it several times this evening. I know I have been wicked, odious, bad. I say nothing in defense of myself. But don't be hard on me. I was distracted by the thought of losing you. I can't face life without you, Leonard. I was happy when I met you. I had never loved anyone. And if you had only let me alone, I could have gone on contentedly by myself. But I can't now. I must have you with me. Don't cast me off without a thought of all that I have at stake. I could be a friend to you if you would only let me, if you would only tell me your plans, give me a share in your work, treat me as something more than the amusement of an idle hour. Oh, Leonard, you've never given me a chance. Indeed, you haven't. I'll take pains. I'll read. I'll try to think. I'll conquer my jealousy. Oh, I'm mad. You'll kill me if you desert me. I don't iron his shirts. I don't sew on his buttons. I don't know all the jokes he tells or the songs he hums, though I may hold him all through the night. He may not be here when the morning comes. I don't pick out his ties or expect his tomorrows, but I feel when he's in my arms, he's where he wants to be. We have no memories, bittersweet with time, and I doubt if he'll spend New Year's Eve with me. I don't share his name, I don't wear his ring, don't share his name, so I don't wear his ring. So there's no piece of paper saying that he's mine. So we don't have the memories. I have enough memories. I've washed enough mornings. I've dried enough evenings. I've had enough birthdays to know what I want. Life is anyone's guess. It's a constant surprise. Though you don't plan to fall in love, when you fall, you fall. I'd rather have 50% of him, or any percent of him, than all of anybody else at all. Like most affairs, it ended badly, but not before taking a toll on Julia's heart. Let me tell you a little bit about Julia. She was great fun, sharp as a tack, with an acerbic wit and a tongue that should have listened more when her brain said, "No, don't say that." She, like George W. Bush, was not very good at differentiating between what should be inside words and what could be outside words. These qualities, whilst very endearing to me, did not always go down well with others. But anyway, let's get back to Leonard. Actually, let's not. Leonard didn't last. Leonard was followed by a series of inappropriate men during what Julia and I refer to as the not-so-golden years. I'm one of a long line of good girls who choose the wrong guy to be sweet on. The girl with a face that says welcome, that men can wipe their feet on. I'm there when he calls me the trusted girl Friday, all right. But what good does it do me alone on a Saturday night? I don't need a map. I naturally head for the dead-end street. You can always count on me. I'm caught in a trap when joy is approaching, then I retreat. I'm at home with misery. I've been the other woman since my puberty began. I crashed the junior prom and met the only married man. I'm always on tap for romance or chocolate that's bittersweet. You can always count on me. A matter of fact, if you want an ill-fated love affair, you can always count on me. Though I've made a pact to carry out research before I care, men don't give a warranty. One Joe who swore he's single got me so I crocked the beast. I woke up only slightly shocked that I defrocked a priest. Or else I attracted guys who were longing to do my hair. You can always count on me. I go for the riff-raff who's treating me so-so. When I can play the second fiddle, I'm a virtuoso. I should be playing for a wedding band, but there's no wedding rings attached. Though you could say there's strings attached. Though my kind of dame no doubt will die out introduce the girls he's with. There's lots of smirking motel clerks who call me Mrs. Smith. Though I've made a name with hotel detectives who break down doors, guess who they expect to see? You can always count on bet a large amount on. You can always count on me. Julia finally did meet the love of her life, John. John was dead keen to settle down, get married, and have children. Julia was absolutely terrified. What would this mean? Would it change her life? Could she still be Julia, warts and all? And then John got down on one knee. Don't do it. Don't open that little box. One more crack. Don't ask me to marry you. Shh, shh, shh. Just don't say another word. Just listen. I can't let you do this to me. I mean, before I met you, I used to be such a bitch. I mean, seriously, everyone at work thought I was a huge bitch. No one actually liked me. Those people I introduced you to as my friends, they're not my friends. They're scared of me. Well, they were before you. Before you, I never used to say please or thank you at restaurants. I never smiled or laughed at anyone's jokes but mine. I never used to tip more than 10%. I was quick with an insult. I always had a cruel word. I was cold, cross, crass, falsely compassionate. But since being with you, I've begun to feel all warm inside, fuzzy. I find myself wanting to stroll in the park and whistle. I have these thoughts, these urges to donate to charities and help out in soup kitchens and hug people. Since being with you, I have given nearly $10 to homeless men, helped 3 old ladies cross the street, and I bought one of my so-called friends a present at full price. And I knew it was something she'd like. Don't you see? Don't you see? You've made me nice. And what really scares me is that you'll open the box and ask me to marry you, and I'll just nicely say yes. And then I'll be nice for life. I'll be singing Kumbaya for the rest of my days. I'll give back to the community, to the Salvation Army, to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And I'll do it anonymously. Oh, for the love of God, put that box away. I mean, the planet already has millions of nice people. It doesn't need me too. I am a bitch, and I want to stay that way. I'm asking you. No, I'm begging you, will you please, please not marry me? However, Julia overcame her fears and married John. She couldn't believe she'd met the perfect guy for her. Seemed like all her dreams were coming true. John felt the same way.
What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. Way feel when that bell starts to peal. I could swear I was falling. I could swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I could swear I was falling. I could swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love.
Julia and John were the perfect couple. I'd meet them every Saturday for coffee, and John would patiently read his newspaper while Julia and I put the world to rights over our lattes. We all thought that this is what the future looked like. John was even talking about setting me up with one of his friends. Life had other ideas, though. We met, of all places, in front of Gristides some freakishly cold winter's day. I had on several unflattering layers of wool. He slipped on the ice with his grocery bags full. So I rescued some Fruit Loops he'd dropped by the curb, and he made some remark that my smile was superb. I thought that was sweet, and I started to go when he said, "Hey, what you doing tomorrow? Because I'll be here on the corner of Bleecker and Mercer tomorrow at 7. If you want to meet up, I'll be waiting right here. And in case there are two fellas waiting for you, my name's John." He waved and then he was gone. Needless to say, I went back there to meet him, mostly to see if he'd show. And there he was, out in the cold, with his jacket pulled tight. He took me to dinner and kissed me goodnight. And the next week we went to this terrible play. And the week after that, drank hot chocolate all day. And suddenly 8 or 9 months had flown by when he said, "Hey, what you doing the rest of your life? Because I'll be here right beside you as long as you want me to be. There's no question. There is nothing I've wanted so much in my life. This might sound immature, but I'm totally sure you're the one. And we have just begun. We got hitched in September, our favorite month, with a rock band that played in this old synagogue. And we bought an apartment on West 17th Street and talked about children and getting a dog. Our first anniversary came in a flash, and we promised to take the day off. He had to call into his office that morning, and so I went walking uptown to this bakery I know. When I heard on the street what I thought was a joke, till I noticed the sirens and saw all the smoke. So I'm running back home with this feeling of dread to the voicemail he'd left with the last words he said. "I'm sorry, I don't mean to ruin your evening by bringing up all of this stuff. You're probably wondering why I even called you tonight. Well, today something happened that spooked me all right. I saw this storm cloud of papers fall down from the sky, and I thought of that day, and I started to cry. When as sure as I breathe, I heard John clear as day saying, 'Hey, you're allowed to move because I'll be here, even if you decide to get rid of my favorite sweater, even if you go out on my birthday this year, instead of sitting at home, letting all of life's moments pass by. You don't have to cry, because I'll be here when you start going back to the places we went to together, when you take off your ring and you let yourself smile, when you meet someone handsome and patient and true, and he says that he wants to be married to you, and you call him one night and you meet him downtown, and you finally answer him, yes, yes, Jason, I will marry you. I will give you my heart. It has taken so long, but I'm ready to start. Right now, John's whispering congrats in my ear, 'cause I'm finally let myself tell you that I